So, oh, we do have super effective. I was thinking fire. We don't have quad effective. We have fighting, which is why I brought Luca in. Because being 10 levels higher, stab, yeah. Stab Force Bomb should take down the Abomasnow, and what a powerful growl on Abomasnow. That wasn't my. That was me trying to impersonate Abomasnow. I should have healed. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, for the first time since the last time, it is that time, right about that time, for your favorite Pokemon challenge and mine. My name is Sebastian Todd III. You may call me ST3, and this is the Randomizer HeartGold Nuzlocke, the HeartGold Randomizer Nuzlocke, the Nuzlocke HeartGold Randomizer. You know what I'm saying. This is episode 12, confirmed. This is episode 12 on the channel, the first series we are doing here. So if you have enjoyed the series so far, please leave a like down below. Please hit the subscribe button because this is just the beginning for this channel. We will get better, and hopefully you've seen that progressively throughout the episodes here. In our last episode, we did a lot of grinding against trainers. We got a couple new encounters. None of them are on the team, but let us do a quick team recap for you all. We have Brodacon, our Vigoroth, holding the Amulet Coin, Thick Fat ability, which is a great ability, Feint Attack, Strength Cut, and Slack Off on our Brodacon. Next up, we have Denny, P67, with the Runaway ability, Rock Blast, Tail Whip, Stomp, and Rock Smash. We have Zombie, the unofficial MVP of the run to this point. He is our Dugong with Motor Drive. Zombie has Headbutt, Surf, Signal Beam, and Icy Wind. Then we have our starter, Venus, the Ivysaur, with Shell Armor, which will change when we bump it up to a Venusaur, Sleep Powder, Poison Powder, Razor Leaf, and Vine Whip. Then we have Luca, the Lucario, Soothe Bell, Chlorophyll for the ability, Quick Attack, Bullet Punch, Force Bomb, and Counter. And then that shiny Rampardos, we named him Crimson. He has Shield Dust, and then moves Rock Slide, Assurance, Ancient Power, and Endeavor. So far, he's holding a Calcium, which we should probably take off of him so we can sell that and get some more healing items and catching items and all that fun stuff. In the last episode, we took down the lighthouse, so today we are making our way over to Battle Chuck and see if we can't dispatch of Chuck in a humane fashion, but post-haste, too. We want to get it done. We will get another 2 encounters, at least in this episode, depending on how quickly we take down Chuck. We might be able to fly back here and get a couple more. And today is Sunday. Today for you is Monday. So welcome to the week. I know that this usually goes up about 7 p.m., so hopefully the first day of your week was everything you need it to be. I hope it was fantastic. I hope this week is awesome for you. Let me know in the comments below. Our comment question of the day. I know I say a lot of things, but leave it in the comment. And I apologize. Something is not right with my eyeball. Let me know down below. What are you looking forward to most this week? And if it was something today, what was it? How did it go? Was it as awesome as you thought it would be? I know that one of the things I'm doing this week, which doesn't sound super duper exciting, is bringing my wife's car back up to the dealer to get some work done. So not super duper like the flashiest thing, but it is important. An adult thing is always important to do. Not always the most fun to adult, but it is important. I did not want to headbutt. I wanted to surf, but that's okay. With the randomizer, Nidoqueen probably doesn't have Poison Point, but we'll get the Poison off with the Poison Sting regardless, so that worked out well. If I had just surfed, we wouldn't have been poisoned. The downside to having nice eyelashes is that sometimes they stick together. I've always joked about getting a mascara pen just to help separate them at times. Haven't pulled the trigger yet, but maybe someday I will. Maybe someday I'll just start wearing mascara. Heal that poison on zombie. There's a bunch of little trainers around here in the water that we're going to go face today. And the reminder here in episode 12, drink your water and don't forget to recycle your bottles. Now, it is kind of interesting that Pinsir is out. Pinsir does have some fighting moves oftentimes. I don't think it's going to have much other than maybe Seismic Toss at this level. Um, oh, it does have Brick Break. Okay. This might do some damage because this is super effective. It's not Stab. Yeah, that did a lot more than we would have liked. If it weren't for the fact that the Pinsir is very low health, we might have been a little bit scared there for a moment, but it was, so we're not. And we have Slack Off, and we have Potions, and we could have switched out. All right, let's pick up this TM. Calm Mind. Not bad. We don't have a Pokemon that would really super fit it. But if you press your A button again right here, ignite them, we will take the full incense. Because that is money. Money, 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 money. Granted, we have Brodicon holding the amulet coin, so we are getting loaded. We are getting loaded. So yeah, looking forward to the week ahead. It should be a good week. Should be a good week. Should hear back from at least 2 different places about positions I have applied for. Hopefully, I think there's one final interview in each of those processes. So, fingers crossed that we get those phone calls this week. We get those scheduled, maybe even completed. We don't know. That's still early enough in the week. They could say, "Hey, you want to come in tomorrow? You want to come in Friday?" So, get those done. Wow. This is why Brodicon is a powerhouse for us, and we have him out front with the amulet coin. Just strength is not super effective against Onyx with the rock typing there, but look at how much power stab strength does. I know, we're 12 levels higher, but just phenomenal. Just phenomenal, the kind of damage we can do. We're not going to worry too much about the Sandstorm because one more shot takes down the Onyx. And I believe that's the last Pokemon for this trainer. If it's not, we can switch out. It's not, so we'll take a little more damage, but we're still doing fine. Arcanine. You know, we're going to bring in Denny P67. The last episode, we put the experience share on Denny P67 because it taken a little bit during the grinding, training, I guess is what I was trying to say, in between episodes 10 and 11. But once Rock Blast is there, it's Denny P67 has come in clutch, and while we have Surf on Zombie, we're hopeful to get ourselves a Rhyhorn eventually here too. Because we know Rhydon, because Rhydon has Water Absorb. And we're not even convinced yet that we're going to evolve the Rhyhorn into a Rhyperior, despite the fact that we have a Protector. Because Water Absorb Rhydon. Hello? And look at the damage Denny P67 does. Line him up, knock him down. I think there's about, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 more trainers in this general vicinity around the rural islands here. Like I said, we'll go take on Chuck. We're going to get a static today, too. I forgot all about the static. Oh, yeah. So it's going to be a good episode. We're going to get a lot jam-packed into this episode. We got the battle with the dude who's obsessed with Suicune. We're going to get Fly. I love Dodrio. Maybe one of my favorite. Ooh. We have 5 Pokemon that are weak to fighting. And this is one of the better fighting types out there. So we're going to go with Venus because I think Poison resists fighting, and it's the only thing that Machamp isn't super effective against on our team. But it might make sense between episode 12 and 13 to maybe train up Ghastly. How does Machamp avoid a Razor Leaf while it's sleeping? I would like to know. That did not do a ton of damage. I was hopeful for this to be a 3-shot with Razor Leaf. I'm also a little bit concerned that this is going to wake up and counter us. So no, I was just about to say no crits. If the crit's going to kill, we will take the crit. We will take the crit. All right. Champ goes down. But yeah, if nothing else, then we would have the ability to be immune to the fighting moves. This is Route 41, so we can get a new encounter at any time here. I usually use Repels Up until I beat all the trainers, and then I either fish or surf closer to the island. I've always called it an island. I think it calls itself an island, but we never see like the other part of the island. The Royal Islands make sense because it's our little islands here. I typically don't get the Royal Islands. I mean, we can't use Whirlpool quite yet anyway, but typically until we're going for the legendary, which in this case it's the level 70, and we can't do that until we're into Kanto. So maybe before we head over to Kanto, or if we run into something catastrophic and have to rebuild the team and go get some encounter somewhere else, we can get it first. Ooh, Beldum. Beldum's not as scary as a Metagross, but we talked about this at the end of the last episode. That would be a Pokemon that I would love to have on the team. A little difficult to train up, but we got the experience share, so we can make it work. Definitely hard to catch because of takedown, which again just leads to maybe we should think about having Ghastly / Haunter / Gengar on the team, because then takedown wouldn't affect it. But we can't have one Pokemon on the team just in case we run into somebody on the Metagross side, you know? I feel like that's a bit much for just one possible encounter. Something ridiculous like 300, 400 Pokemon available in the randomizer. I don't think we can hedge our bets on one, right? So I'm going to try to take down the Bulbasaur here with just one shot. I'm pretty sure Strength will do that. We're higher. It will. I forgot about Effect Spore. I was afraid of Poison Powder. I forgot that we had Effect Spore way back when. We'll trade up Venus a little bit here. We're super effective with both Zombie and Venus, but Zombie's fully evolved. Venus is not. Wow. So the concerning thing here is that a ground type move could be super effective against Venus because of the poison. Super effective against NEP67 because of Rock. Super effective against Crimson because of Rock. Super effective against Luca because of Steel. I really thought Razor Leaf was going to do a lot more. It's not super effective against Zombie. And as we've said before, Zombie is our de facto MVP, especially for all the legendaries it has taken down, especially in the early gyms. So I think we can eat this decently. And then hopefully a Stab Surf will take down the Hippowdon. And it does. Zombie comes in clutch yet again. And then Abomasnow. We don't have anything super effective, but Abomasnow is grass and ice, so... No, we do have super effective. I was thinking fire. We don't have quad effective. We have fighting, which is why I brought Luca in. Because being 10 levels higher, Stab, yeah. Stab Force Bomb should take down the Abomasnow, and what a powerful growl on Abomasnow. That wasn't my... That was me trying to impersonate Abomasnow. I should have healed! I threw myself off of my Abomasnow impression, and it was terrible. And now here we are with a weak Rodicon who is poisoned. So we'll do the heal up first. We'll see if and what Frostlass can do to us now that we're close to as high a level as we're going to get. Because Feint Attack is super effective. And I think we'd live a crit. This was genius by Frostlass, and if we don't hit it and kill it here, we probably need to switch out Rodicon. Alright, we got really lucky to break through confusion. It does not one-shot. And the poison does its thing. All right. I think we go back to zombie. If it has a ghost type move, it could do some damage to us. We're probably going to have to heal zombie up on the next turn. But we'll resist an icy wind. And that's the most important thing at the moment. Speed drops, but we knew that was coming. We'll signal beam the confuse ray. Frost Lass came to play. If we break through, zombie takes down the Frost Lass right here. We did not, and that does more damage to us than the Icy Wind does. I don't think you can crit yourself, though, so I'm not worried about a crit right here. And we broke through. All right, take down the Frostlass. I love Frostlass, too. That's just a great Pokemon in terms of the cry, which, again, I need to figure out how to get you guys looped in with the audio. But the cry, just the design, ghost and ice types, two types that are somewhat niche but also phenomenal in their own ways. I enjoy them a lot. Not when you're the antidote. I was going to do the super potion, but let us heal up Bruticon. And then we have the potions, we have money. We didn't even buy much last episode. So let's not keep these on the sidelines. It's kind of like timeouts in the NFL, right? Can't take them with you. So might as well use up the potions. The potions. So we got this one. We got 2, 3 below. We've got, I think, 3 above. And then a static, and then a chucking counter, and then. Interesting that strength didn't do more damage. Tangle is bulky. I know Tangrowth is pretty bulky, but Tangle is bulky too. I wonder if we're going to get enough levels in this episode. I'm guessing not. But if we can keep Broticon against everybody, between Broticon and Denny P67 splitting the experience, I wonder if we'll get enough to get us up to a slacking today. My guess is that will probably come in the next episode. I won't lie, there's part of me that it's like, well, if we can do it in a training montage, we can show it. But I'm not even sure yet if in episode 11 I can whop in the Croconaw death. So Slash is such a good move. Strength is better. Feint attack is great. Slack off is good. I'm going to wait for now. We can get heart scales. We can reteach Slash later down the road when we can get rid of Cut. But I'm going to keep the moveset as is for now. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Keep the moveset where it is for the moment. And then later we'll teach Cut to what will soon be a Venusaur. I think I've said this in past episodes. I typically teach my grass Pokemon the Cut move. I don't know why I've always associated with a grass type, but I'd have. I think because so many grass types can learn Cut. It's stab on Vigoroth, yes, but it takes up a move spot that could be used for Slash, and between Slash and Strength, there's not going to be a lot of Pokemon out there that we can't just destroy. So, cast form. Shout out to M&J TV and all of M&J TV's associated channels. Huge fan. Appreciate the content that you make. You have been one of those that I watch a ton. Can't remember. It was an episode, I think, of Original 151, aka Penny, and United Gamer, aka Dylan, doing a Cage Lock, and they had talked about the Mount Rushmore of PokeTubers. And for me, they're both on it, Dylan and Vinny, and MNGTV would be on there as well. Just because really the three of them um, are kind of the three that helped get me back into Pokemon. I think I've said this before. I was never out of Pokemon. I still kind of played on my own, some of the older gen stuff, but had never really been a huge. Never played really Gen 5. I played since, but I've never played Gen 6 or 7. Still haven't played 6 or 7. Which I know is sad because of all the megas and stuff, but just not something that I really did at the time. It wasn't part of my life when those were released. And so uh, it was, I think I've said this before, but it was a Cage Lock episode that got me into the idea of randomizers and playing Pokemon kind of for fun, and that Pokemon was still as big as it was for me in my youth. And then, folks like MNJTV just made it bigger, so better. I can't remember who I said was the fourth in that particular comment that I left. Right now, my gut's saying PM7 because I love the PM7 videos and that John guy. There's so many wonderful videos there, but there are so many other great YouTube creators, and I know we've talked about that before, and I won't rehash all those names, but just for the sake of this, I think it was PM7. If it wasn't, he very easily could be. Like I said, just who do I watch on a consistent basis? There's like 10, 12, 15 PokeTubers I watch. And I know they might not be like the godfathers of PokeTubing, and they might not be, they have those who influence them. I understand that, but they're the ones for me. And there's an old cliche that I'm going to mess up, and I'm going to mess up even who said it, but a member of KISS, maybe it was Ace Frehley, said something along the lines of, we don't care what floor you get on the elevator at as long as you're on. We don't care if it's early Kiss makeup, if it's post makeup Kiss, if it's, today you saw him on tour and oh my gosh, I'm now a Kiss fan. Like, as long as you're on the elevator, it doesn't matter what floor you get on. That's kind of how I feel about a lot of things. It doesn't really matter. My favorite band of all time is Our Lady Peace. And I really didn't get introduced to Our Lady Peace until 2001, 2002, through wrestling, and then through their single Somewhere Out There. I think it was 2002 they released their album called The Ice Type Moving Fools This Way. In 2002 they released Gravity with Somewhere Out There on it. And it was the first album I bought of theirs, and they've been my favorite band ever since. But a lot of fans believe that their best album is Clumsy, 1997, which I don't share because it's not my favorite. It might be their best, technically speaking, in terms of like how the music's put together, in terms of album sales, in terms of whatever metrics you want to use. It might be their best. But I didn't get introduced until 2002, and they've been my favorite band ever since. And they will be my favorite band until the day I die. This nostalgia there is incredible. And I will say, too, I actually went with my brother to they toured for the 20th anniversary of Clumsy in 2017. And my brother and I went and saw them in Massachusetts, just outside of Boston. It was my first time seeing them live. And they were just powerful. I've invested so much of my life in their music. They did the album in its entirety, and then they did some of their other songs as well. Just to see a band that has had so much influence in my life and been a part of so many wonderful, memories that I have, good and bad. Like, they're the band that I go to when I'm happy. They're the band I go to when I'm sad. They're my band, right? There's a point to all this, and I don't know where I went. It was that I got on at a different album than a lot of people would say, and that's fine. I got on, and I've been all in. And that's one thing I love too, is being introduced to new music. I'm wearing Icon for Hire's hat. Iconic. I bought this at an Icon for Hire concert. I may have talked about them in a previous episode. I may have not. I know I've worn the hat in previous episodes. They're a band that I think, even if you're not a big fan of rock and roll and like the sound of the music that's played, I am. I love the beats. I love the guitars. I think Sean's guitars have only gotten better as they've gotten, the more albums they do, the more music they do. You can just see like he's such a good guitarist. And love to even hear more of it on whatever they do next. But I like seeing them. But love them. I think the message that they have in their songs speaks to any and everybody. I think everybody would appreciate kind of the meaning and the message. And so, Rocking the Icon for Hire. Iconic. Actually got the book back here, Turn Your Pain into Art by Ariel Bloomer, the lead singer, signed by Ariel and by Sean. No idea what's coming out because I'm in my own world here. Paris. No worries about Paris. One of my other favorite bands, because we're going to talk about bands right now, because that's what I feel like talking about. I don't come into these with any real idea of what we're going to talk about, other than in the last episode, we have to address Crocono died. Okay, move on. I'm going to do a team recap. That's about all I got. But I'm a huge fan of the band Churches. Love Churches. Dragged my wife to see them last year. She didn't hate it. She enjoyed it. I think she likes live music better. Yeah, love Churches. They've become one of my favorite bands. Paramore's up there. Alter Bridge is up there. I'm very eclectic, if you can't tell. Our Lady Peace, who had like a lot of success right as grunge was kind of fading, right? Post grunge, and then Churches, which is, I don't know what you want to call synth pop, maybe. I don't really care what category you want to put them in. They're phenomenal. And then there's Alter Bridge, who's like harder rock. Paramore, who's kind of a lot of people, I guess, I see like on forums and Instagram and stuff like that they're classified sometimes in like punk or emo, and I don't know. I can't say that I've ever been like a big punk rock fan or like a big emo rock fan. But I've never really considered Paramore either one of those. Maybe they are. Nothing wrong with it if they are. Other bands, a band I would consider maybe emo, and one of my probably top 10 favorite bands of all time is Placebo. Love them. And I'm a big fan of like a lot of rock and roll, a lot of anything. We saw, my wife and I, last year we went to a concert with Joan Jett, who her set she was the opening of the four major bands there, so she didn't do like a ton of songs, but just to be like, I saw Joan Jett live, great set, just oh, it was phenomenal. And then Poison right afterward, and then after Poison was Motley Crue, and then after Motley Crue was Def Leppard. And I will be honest, I didn't know a lot of Def Leppard going into that concert, but they were phenomenal live. They were amazing, and both my wife and I have definitely become Def Leppard fans since that concert. And that's one of the things I love about live music is even if you don't know much about who's performing or the opening acts, I recommend you go whenever you get a chance to a live concert because it will be fun. I saw Icon for Hire the first time in Indianapolis, and their opening act, or one of their opening acts, was a band called Stitched Apart, and just really enjoyed their music just from being there. There was a band that had opened up for Alter Bridge named California Breed that only did one album, but had Glenn Hughes from Deep Purple, and I can't remember his name, but his name's like Andrew something. He was a guitarist, and he now does a lot of stuff for like Post Malone, and he helped with one of Ozzy's at least songs, if not albums, Ozzy Osbourne. And the drummer for the album, he wasn't there for the show I saw, but the drummer for the album was Jason Bonham, John Bonham's son. And so to see them, California Breed, they were phenomenal live. Sad that they didn't make more music because I would totally love to hear more, but that was just a ton of fun. Let's get our static here. Excuse me. Not too much with bands. I'm super dry right now. I hit B by mistake, and he's like, "What? You don't want my Pokemon?" I do. I just misclicked as I was choking on my own lack of spit at that point. Hey, it's Bellsprout. I said before that I love Bellsprout. Plus, doesn't do much. think we have a Pokemon in the PC that has minus, so we could put them both on the team. But it's gonna change to if and or when we ever need to evolve that up. We've got a couple of really good grass types in the PC, as I said at the beginning of I think last episode. I'm recording them back to back, so if I get a little confused between the two, that's why. Um, as you can see in the PC, we've got. I don't want to pause. I'm gonna move so I can grab people up. We trained up Meganium, we trained up Curdle. So if we need a new grass type, if something heaven forbid happens to our Venusaur, we've got some grass options down there. And of course, we've got our Dodrio just chilling, waiting out, probably for after this Chuck fight, because then we're going to have Fly, and we will use Dodrio to fly us back and forth to places. So we've got two more encounters here that we can get. We've got the Suicune battle. So I'm going to I'm going to surf right off the coast here just to get Route 41s because we haven't done that yet. We repelled all the way over here to face all the trainers. And we want to put Venus in front. Almost forgot that. And the reason to, and we kind of talked about this with other encounters before. Let's hold that thought. It's Chansey! But one of the reasons that I got the Bellsprout first is that I want to ensure that I'm kind of catching the eggs. That's where I've talked about before. Um, it's a static, it's guaranteed. We can't switch that out. So if we don't get the Route 41 encounter until we get the static, we go back out to Route 41. If it just so happens to be the static again, we're okay. Chansey doesn't have a lot of defense. I'm going to Vine Whip. I hope. Oh, that doesn't do much. We could probably get a Razor Leaf, but I'm afraid of a crit, which I'm trying to say in like 3 words. Excuse me. I mean, it also has very little attack, so I'm not too worried. Chansey is a Pokemon that I have great affection for, but I have never used Chansey, Happiny. I've never used Blissey on a team. I don't think I ever will. No offense. Maybe someday. But because they're the nurse Pokemon, and my wife is a nurse. So shout out to all nurses everywhere. We greatly appreciate everything that you do for everybody. And if you don't know, interact with a nurse, hang out with them, because some of the stories, I mean, this would be one reason to have Chansey because it can heal itself and others with soft boiled. I'm going to try a Razor Leaf. YOLO. Like I said, I'm not going to use it. I just like to have it on the team because I have such an affection for nurses and for my wife, who's a nurse. Oh, no, it's nothing. So Chansey's just going to be in there like, I'm sitting here going, is it really going to be worth it? Because we're never going to put this thing on the team, but it already has soft boiled. And there's part of me that kind of is like, if you throw that on the team, you just heal up the team whenever you need. Kind of hoping for a crit. I don't think the crit would kill, but I think it would get it into the red as long as it doesn't soft boil again. Just really. Here's an idea. We'll put it on a timer. I don't think it can sing us to sleep too. So it has sing, it has soft boil, it has double slop. I mean, when I try to like think about having a diverse team too, we already have a way better normal type in Brodacon, so it's not like this is coming on the team anytime soon. And yes, I threw an Ultra Ball. I'm going to do it again, just because I want the encounter. I know Chansey is not the easiest to catch, so I want it to hopefully stay in the ball and be done with sooner than later. I don't think softball cures the poison, does it? All right, crit, crit, crit. High critical ratio here. It did crit. Did it live on one? That would have been so great if it didn't soft boil. Oh no, it wouldn't have, because it would have killed itself. The poison would have taken it down. Never mind. For a split second, I thought we had put it to sleep again. No, we poisoned it. I don't know what I'm thinking about right here. 1, 2. Ah. Minimize doesn't affect me. We're just throwing Pokeballs. Gonna get a little bit more affected by the poison. I really just don't want it to soft boil again. I think it's used like 5 or 6. I think it's only got 10 PP, but minimize. Maybe it only has 5 PP. If so, it's out of minimizes. We've only got another ball or two to throw. I don't know if it's going to live another poison if it doesn't soft boil. Wow. Chansey just does not want to join the team. I don't care if it puts us to sleep. We can go heal up. Poison does not take it down. So we got one more shot at this, unless it soft boils after this. This is our last attempt to catch this Chansey. 1 shake, 2 shakes, 3 shakes. We got it! Boom! Chansey's on the team. Again, it's a Pokemon I just have great affection for. I just don't envision it being on the team. But I'm going to name this Wifey after my wifey, because my wifey is a nurse, as I've said 1,000 times. So, wifey will go to the PC. We will go to the Pokemon Center ourselves, and we will heal up so that our Venusaur is awake and we've got all of our power points back. We'll go get our other encounter. We'll go take on Chuck. No, we'll get our other encounter. Then we'll go take on Suicune, and then we'll take on Chuck. Unless our next encounter and that fight takes so long that we're at 45 minutes, we might save Chuck for the next episode, but I promised Chuck in this one. So, all right, Fish, Rock Smash. What do we want to do? Let's Rock Smash at least this one, because there's a hidden item behind it. And if we get an encounter here, that's our encounter. We did. All right, so this is our encounter. It is a Taillow. I've said this before, and I'll say this again. We take flying types, because having fly available to us, we are not a member of Team Sky, but having flying types available to use fly is always a good thing. So we will put this to sleep. It's super effective on us, but we are higher enough level. I'm not really concerned. It's asleep. I think a Great Ball will be fine. And a future Swallow to go with our Dodrio and the PC. Just a good option to have. Probably not going to be on the team anytime soon. First ball, Bassy, right there. We'll take it. So Taillow joins the team. So we're going to name this Swell Guy, because this is one swell guy right here. And our swell guy will go hang out in the PC. We'll get the elixir. We'll take that. We will put Brodacon back out in front, and we will take on the dude who is stupidly obsessed with Suicune. Yeah, especially in these generations where like HMs are a thing. Flying types. Fly is such a good TM. HM. Kind of like Surf and Strength. Cuts, meh. I think if cut wasn't a normal, if it was a grass type, maybe like later in this, maybe even the next episode, we're going to end up getting Whirlpool, and Whirlpool is pointless, and really in this game because once you get to the Elite Four, you can go back and delete Whirlpool and then never ever use it again. Literally never ever again. And I know this is way ahead down the line, but I think that when it comes time for the Elite Four, we're going to it's going to probably be its own episode, the entire Elite Four. This makes sense, and we'll probably do a grinding montage, before that. And again, I think I asked this in the last episode. If I asked it in this episode, sorry for duplicating. But again, recording them back to back, so I don't remember which one's which. But if you ever want to see those, I can just record the gameplay, get the audio in there, and throw that up on as a bonus episode. Let me know. I will happily do that. I try to record them. That way, if, heaven forbid, we lose our crocodile, we have video footage of it. Or something good happens, too. Like if we run into one of the, statics that encompass the, that roam the area, we can, and somehow catch it. Or a shiny, like a full-on shiny, that would be phenomenal. But so far, it's just when we lose crocodile. All right, we'll take the crit. I'm not gonna learn takedown because I don't like residual damage. There are a handful of moves. Brave Bird comes to mind where it could be worse, but all right, I'm gonna try to pause the video and see if we can come right back and see if we can get rid of this. If the video ends right here because of the glitch here that we're gonna try to get rid of, then I apologize and we'll see you next time. But I'm gonna try to just fix the glitch real quick. So we will pause. All right, so we are back. Let's see if I do this well in editing. But we did get the glitch all cleared up, but we are going to wrap it up right here. We will take on Chuck in the next episode. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, until next time.